The feminist movement is currently reversing the roles of men and women. Women are becoming more and more masculine, and men are becoming more and more feminine.
A woman can be elegant when she speaks openly about sex or sleeps with any man she chooses. Can a woman be elegant when she's completely drunk at the club?
A woman who respects herself is a discreet woman who doesn't need to do these things to be loved. It's a lack of respect for her body, for who we are. Our body is a temple. We shouldn't let just anyone touch it.
A figure like Andrew Tate has some pretty negative things, we're not going to deny it. The underlying message is, as a man, work hard and be disciplined. You must fight to achieve anything. It's a message that has a lot of positive things and go all in for it. Bonnie Blue sleeps with 1,000 men and she's allowed to say any kind of thing like, I'm gonna take your boyfriends, lend me your boyfriends, that I have to have sex with 1,000 people in one day. I don't care if the men are married, I'll take care of them.
People have a hard time seeing because they're asleep. They don't realize it. They're listening to the devil's voice, right? They don't realize they're listening to these voices. If I, who was a super vulgar girl, the most vulgar in the world, a really lost girl, sick because I was sick with depression, and I saved myself from this. So if I did it, then anyone can do it?
Very good day to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, elegant people. Today I have the pleasure of doing a show with the great Maeva. She is a girl who creates content on social media about the importance of elegance, and she really emphasizes that elegance is not just an aesthetic matter. How are you? Maeva, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming to this show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here and to share a moment with you all.
Well, the pleasure is mutual. Thank you, Maeva. The first question I wanted to ask you is, how did you get started? Or how did you decide to make this kind of content? Where does the need to share elegance with the world come from? What is the source of elegance?
Well, nowadays we live in a completely vulgar and fake world. And for me, elegance saved me from depression, from being in a bad place in my life. It saved me from all that, and I wanted to help others. And what we see nowadays in this world, which is quite vulgar, well, I was encouraged to create this account and share the codes of elegance.
Maeva, do you have 1,000,000? How many followers have you gained on Instagram? Exactly, because I know you have more than 1,000,000.
I have 1,100,000, 1,100,000.
Gos. It's already something to say that this message, in a world that you've emphasized is vulgar, there really was a need for people to hear what you have to say.
Yes, I think so. But at first, I didn't think I was going to transform elegance into the message I have now. At first, I just wanted to share codes of elegance. And when I started talking about the Olympic Games, about the opening ceremony in France, because the ceremony took place in my country, France, and I talked about that, and my content and my way of seeing elegance have completely changed.
I'll be honest with you, I started watching your content because you've done it really well. The algorithm recommended it a lot. And I said, okay, another generic aesthetics account discussing specifics, brands, and defining what is or isn't elegant. I'm not saying it's not content I find valid, right? It just wasn't something I was going to follow. But I do have to admit that when I saw you getting into the moral value of aesthetics, and then elegance, not just from the point of view of clothing, but also from a philosophical and moral point of view. I already said, wow, I think Maeva is a conservative girl. I think Maeva is a girl who's concerned about the direction society is heading. And not just when it comes to dressing well, but also in terms of how a person should present themselves to the world. What do you think about this?
Well, people think that elegance is just a matter of clothing, of dressing well and following dress codes, right? But an elegant person who dresses well but has a vulgar attitude loses all their elegance. It's a whole package, it's a lifestyle. Elegance is both dressing well and having good manners and a good attitude toward people.
Absolutely, Maeva, absolutely. when you decided to make that change? Because at first you started only the account with the intention of helping people with dress codes, the codes of elegance, purely from an aesthetic point of view, right?
At first, yes, but I also wanted to share good manners because it completely changed me. I was a different woman before.
Tell us a little about that change. Tell us a little about the transformation you've experienced. From when you went from being a vulgar person or not having these values so firmly established. And what positive impact did it have on your life to become the Maeva we see today?
Well, I was born in France, in a vulgar family. I loved them, but I wasn't born into a family with elegant manners, with everything done properly. I was really lost, really sad, and honestly, I was rude. I felt bad about myself. And before I started on social media in Spain, I was an influencer in France. I had an account, but I wasn't doing anything like what I do now. I was just following trends and sharing, well, anything, just to get followers. Was I super materialistic before? And since I was feeling bad and was depressed, I had anorexia, well, quite a few ugly things. So I was looking for a way to feel better in my life, and I found elegance. Little by little, I was researching, learning, making mistakes, and last year, since I had gotten better, elegance allowed me to feel better. So I realized that I had to do this to help people. The only thing I wanted to do was help.
Maeva, how do you go from that situation of feeling bad, of having physical and even mental problems? You told me, how do you come across elegance? I mean, how do you decide or how do you arrive at that way of living?
Well, I was looking for a way to improve myself because I knew I wasn't doing well. I realized that I was doing things wrong. So I looked for a way to improve my attitude, and I found videos about elegance on YouTube. How to act better, how to speak better, and the topic interested me. And I started to research, learn, and well,
You got there naturally by searching, and did it help you?
it totally helped me. It was totally different. Now I am at peace, which I didn't have before, and now I'm totally at peace. I feel good in my life, and I'm happy to be able to help people, just like elegance helped me.
Ah, I'm really glad. There's a question I wanted to ask you. Earlier, you talked about the Paris Olympic Games. What turning point did that mean in your life? And in your content, because you made a dramatic shift in the direction your content was taking. Why did you decide? What felt so wrong that you had to point it out?
Well, I don't know if everyone has seen the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games that took place in Paris. So, since it's my country, I felt touched, right? I saw it and it moves me. It made me feel sad to see the ceremony was so vulgar. They were making a mockery of the Last Supper, which is such a wonderful painting. And honestly, I don't even know what they did. I don't know what that person was thinking when they said, I don't know. No, it's not in their mind. But honestly, I was in total shock and I had to say something and explain that this didn't represent France because unfortunately the ceremony was in France and people could think that France is like this, but it's not. France is an elegant country with good values at its core, and I felt sorry for the image that was shared at this ceremony.
I see. So, did you handle it yourself? Yes, and from there, is that when you started to point out vulgarity as a moral flaw as well? How did the audience react? That shift in your content?
My community was happy to see someone telling the truth. And who doesn't hide behind the lies we see nowadays? We live in a world of lies, and people are afraid to tell the truth. For example, if we say something is ugly, we can't say it nowadays, and we have to say that it's beautiful. And we're turning everything beautiful into ugly, elegance into vulgarity, good into bad. And telling the truth hurts a lot now. It hurts a lot, but it sets you free. So I'm happy to share the truth.
Telling the truth hurts a lot, but it sets you free. That's a very powerful phrase, the one you just said. Maeva, I'm also in a battle trying to tell the truth to many people, and unfortunately, many people don't take it well. I agree. I completely continue 100%. Maeva, let's talk a little more about elegance. Is there a moral responsibility to take care of yourself aesthetically? Yes.
The taking care of yourself is a choice every day. Every day we can choose to take care of ourselves or not. So yes, there is a responsibility.
Okay. Beauty versus vanity. Where is the line that separates the two things? I'm not sure I'm making myself clear, especially in a society where, unfortunately, aesthetics seem to be everything. But I also think it focuses on a rather vulgar side. Where do you draw the line between what's right and what's positive for you? From the line where it's only about what will others think of me, that they see me well, that they see me elegant. You're no longer doing it just for yourself, but you're doing it because of what the rest of the people will think.
Mm. Well, it's all a matter of beauty and ugliness. Elegant or vulgar. And for example, I'll give an example with elegance and vulgarity because that's easier for me. It's that elegance is something that never goes out of style. It's fashionable, it's timeless, and vulgarity is everything that's trendy, everything that goes out of style. When we do things, we usually do them for ourselves. And when we start doing things for ourselves, I mean when we start dressing for, so people see us looking good. Well, that's vanity. I mean, I don't know if that's clear.
I understand completely.
Oh, yes. So you have to ask yourself, am I working? Am I doing this for myself? Or am I doing it so that people see me in a good light? And we can see that if we are in beauty and elegance, or if we are in vanity.
Okay? That is, you would draw the line where what you do for yourself is versus what you do so that others value and admire it.
Exactly. When we see, for example, vulgarity, I'll give a concrete example about brands, branded clothing. People can wear, luxury clothing with visible logos. And that's not for themselves. It's to show like, hey, I have money and I'm into vanity, to show that they have money, right? But the person who dresses elegantly doesn't have anything to show to people. They will dress in a neutral way without logos.
I want to ask you another question. Do you think that well displayed elegance dignifies a human being? To what extent?
To the fullest? La. People often say, I'm elegant. That's a common comment. But Maeva, if I dress elegantly, they think I lack personality, and I don't know. I only dress in neutral colors, and they won't see who I really am. But people don't realize that elegance allows us to highlight who we really are. It will enhance who we are. Dressing elegantly will make us stand out without even trying. Sorry.
I understand perfectly. Why do you think the world today is so vulgar? Mayaba, how would you exemplify the modern vulgarity that you criticize so much?
We are in a world of lies and we live in a fake world where we can't say what we want, because if we do, people get upset. For example, let's say I'm thinking about the body positive movement. I've said that it was vulgar because we're normalizing a behavior that isn't normal. We're normalizing illnesses and it's not right to do that. But if we say it nowadays, people get upset and make us feel bad because we've told the truth.
So, do you think the body positive movement is part of vulgarity? Yes, but why? Specifically, vulgar? Why say that?
Well, we have to define the word vulgar.
Exactly. Let's define what vulgarity is. Let's define the concepts. What is elegance? First, what is vulgarity? Let's do this so the audience can understand what we're talking about here.
Elegance is beauty that is timeless and never goes out of style. Vulgarity is, there are three definitions. There's the common one. What is the word original? The word vulgar comes from vulgo, which means the common, the ordinary. Next, we have the definition of ostentatious. Something vulgar can be something ostentatious. And finally, we have the definition that we all know in the sense. Exhibitionist, I don't know how to say it.
Okay, I understand. So, why do you think this world is so vulgar, since we have the concepts well defined?
We are in a world where people want to show fake things, and I think people are lost. And to feel better, they're looking for a way to stand out, making things up like the moment. The body positive movement, for example.
Okay, is there any other movement that you consider vulgar?
Feminist.
Yeah, feminists don't like you, do they? Right? Why?
Because the feminist movement right now is reversing the roles of men and women. We have reversed the roles, and women are becoming more and more masculine, while men are becoming more and more feminine. And are we losing the essence? We're not really aligned with who we are right now, truly, with the essence that we are. Now we can see super masculine women acting like men, and that's not the woman's role.
Hey, I want you to know that Maeva is doing this podcast in a language that isn't her native one. So please don't be jerks, not at all, in the comments, and keep that in mind. Who here would do a show? I haven't done one in English yet, and I would like to do it, and I guarantee you that I would probably butcher some words too. So let's go back and keep that in mind. Audience, who is very brave to come here,
Thank you.
I want to tell you something. The topic of reversed gender roles and the feminization of men. The masculinization of women is an issue that I have always seen a lot in Spain. Does this issue also occur in France?
Unfortunately, yes. It's really sad to see this intervention of roles. Women are getting lost in this movement. They're taking away the role of the family. People don't want to get married. They don't want to have children. They all want to be single and do whatever they want. And I see that people aren't happy doing that. They follow it because it's trendy, but it's really not who we truly are.
Totally. I agree with you. That's one of my main struggles. Understanding that a society can't prosper without family. In France, there are also these issues with birth rates, right? Yes.
Well, all the problems that exist in Spain, I think they're the same in France.
Is feminism as strong in France as in Spain?
Yes, yes, yes.
They're really tough here, huh?
Oh, in France too? Yes, I also have a French account. And my audience in Spain understands more of what I'm saying, and in France it's more complicated. The topic.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
Son? No, yes. I don't know. People seem pretty dishonest to me. In France,
Less willing to listen. In Spain, we're more open to it.
I don't know if it's Spain or the whole Spanish-speaking world because my community is both in Spain and in Latin America. I don't know where to go. But it seems to me that the French are more complicated in this sense. They're more confident.
Yes, I think France has some very big problems right now. Really big ones. I'm going to bring up another controversial topic, Eva. That's it. It's time. Elegant or vulgar?
The Paris Saint-Germain Champions League celebration. Vulgar.
What do you think about that? What do you think about the direction France is taking with the issue of multiculturalism? Misunderstood.
I didn't want to look because honestly, I left France so I wouldn't have to deal with these issues. But I saw it and it made me really sad. To see that there have been deaths because of a soccer match, because of a match that.
Is supposed to be a celebration.
Exactly, and it made me really sad to see the police officers. Like, well, it's not the first time that's happened in France, so it didn't really shock me, but every time I see that, it makes me really sad. It makes me sad what is happening, what my country is becoming.
What it has already become. It's just that there's no turning back in France, that there's a way out. I just don't know. I already see France, and I see in the French national team, and I see some neighborhoods and areas, and I already think that there isn't an easy solution. It's not just that I'm not voting for X party. The problem is it's metastatic. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. It's already there. In Spain, still notice that it's not. We're not that advanced in that issue, but France, I see it as very hard to save. I hope so, but it's not a wish, it's a concern.
I'm a woman of faith, so I believe that someday. I don't know if it will be now or in 50 years, but I know that one day I hope it will be saved.
You said you're a woman of faith? Yes, what do you mean?
That I have faith. Well, if we want to achieve things in life, we have to have faith. Without faith, nothing exists, right? No projects exist. My account only exists because I had faith.
I agree. Faith is extremely important. Do you also have faith in God? Are you a believer? Maeva?
Yes, and that's the elegance that allowed me to get closer to God.
So, you don't come from a Christian family?
Yes, I come from a family where we believe in God. But there was a time when I was angry with God because I lost my grandfather. And I got angry because you took away my role model, you know? Why did you take my grandfather away from me? And for a few years I was angry, but Elegance allowed me. Well, on the Elegance with Maeva account, I think it was God who gave me the idea.
God gave you the idea and blessed it to become successful. I also hope God continues blessing your message, as I believe it's vital for this society. Maeva.
Thank you.
Going back to the topic of elegance and clothing, do you think that mainstream fashion, tracksuits, and all these new ways of dressing, have they completely destroyed elegance?
Fashion is destroying elegance, but we are here to share it. But yes, on social media we can see a lot of fashion, a lot of trends, and people follow them. And that's what makes it global.
Maeva, I have a question. Makeup. Have you also been critical of makeup? I want you to share your thoughts about modern makeup.
I used to be an influencer, like I told you before, and I was a makeup influencer. I used to wear a lot of makeup, and when I say a lot, I mean I did artistic makeup looks. So I know what I'm talking about because I was in that world before. And is makeup also? I'm thinking being elegant is putting on makeup naturally, right? No, I don't mean that. No, I'm gonna say that we don't have to wear makeup, right? Is it important to wear makeup? But in a subtle way, not something artistic or hiding behind a lot of makeup. And also, I say this a lot, but for me, makeup is not for me. It's about the elegance of makeup. It's only for women and not for men. Because we see a lot on social media, men who wear makeup, and that's totally vulgar.
Totally vulgar. But what about makeup and women? You must have had a big fight when you brought up this topic, right? Haven't many women criticized you for saying too much makeup is vulgar?
Not really. Also, the men who got upset. Why do you say that the
Men. The manginas, those aren't real men. They're not going to get mad at me. Second emotion. A woman who's extremely made up usually puts me off. I prefer natural girls, like my girlfriend or partner. Preciosa.
Yes, as I was saying, elegance is what's natural, subtle, and timeless. And the makeup we see on social media are trends, like wearing a lot of makeup, artistic makeup looks. Sorry, I got lost.
No, don't worry, I'm fine. We're talking about makeup. The makeup we see on social media is.
Vulgar, yes.
Go on.
So, when I brought up the topic, I talked about it because I was a girl who used to wear a lot of makeup, a whole lot. Honestly, I used to have more than 100 makeup palettes before. And but that was just like saying it was superficiality.
Yes, I understand.
And the fact of being an elegant person. Little by little, I stopped wearing makeup. I don't use foundation anymore. Well, those are products. I stopped using palettes. Now I only have two. I threw them away. I've given them to friends, family. I've sold them. And I feel super at peace with this decision. I feel light. I don't feel superficial now. I feel totally like who I really am, you know? And that's the message I wanted to share. We don't need to hide behind a lot of makeup to be beautiful.
My question is, why did you go? Your briefness surprised me. Why were men most upset about the makeup issue? What did they say?
Well, it was in a video where I said how elegant a woman looks when she wears makeup and how odd it is for a man to wear makeup. And there are many men. Who was a makeup artist? What?
What does that mean?
Is that when artistic makeup artist? Makeup artist. Yes, okay, yes, I said it and I ate while doing French.
Yes, you said makeup artist. I said I think he's speaking French. No? Okay.
No, and there were many who got angry telling me that I was from Del Moyen art. I don't know how to say it. The time of the medievals, okay. That I was a backward woman with.
Retrograde.
Yes.
With ideas from the past. That.
We are in 2025 and we have to accept all of this, that we have to update ourselves. And I said to her, but isn't it vulgar and you have to? Well, I didn't answer him directly, but an elegant man doesn't wear makeup and follows the codes of elegance. When we go out on the street and we see, well, we don't see it much now, but when we see elegant men, they never ever wear makeup.
I want to talk about a very important topic with you, ladies and gentlemen. Has the whole concept been lost?
Not everything has been lost because people are still very interested in this. I share these codes and every day I get a lot of messages asking me, Maeva, how do we do this? I don't know. How do you go on a date in an elegant way? How do you be chivalrous on a date? So I don't think it's been lost, but it's just that vulgarity makes more noise than elegance. So we see more vulgarity, but there are many people who are interested in these topics of elegance.
Yes, but if we speak in general from a societal point of view, don't you think so? That the whole topic of ladies and gentlemen has been somewhat lost? Most importantly, I want you to define how a lady should behave. Okay, and then we'll go on to how a gentleman should behave.
Okay. So yes, it has been lost because what we see in society is vulgarity. But as I was saying, a vulgar person is louder than an elegant person. And how should a lady behave? Well, first of all, she should be feminine. She should embrace her role as a woman. In other words, she should be aligned with who she truly is. And she should be discreet, elegant, smiling, have good manners, and dress in an elegant and modest way.
In other words, do you think that modesty is an inherent part of being a lady?
Yes.
For example, topless all over Europe, women go topless at the beach. Is that vulgar? How would you define it? Elegant or vulgar?
Vulgar of the
From 1 to 10, how much?
10 out of 10 is it very vulgar? That's an intimate part. What's it called? It's an intimate part. It should be kept hidden. And an elegant woman is a woman who knows how to dress nicely, but without showing her parts, her body.
I understand perfectly. And what do you think has led women to behave in such a vulgar way?
Well, we have feminism where we're telling women that it's okay. For example, to sell their bodies on platforms like OnlyFans, and the fact that the role of women has also been mixed with that of men. Now women have to work like men. Well, I think women have lost themselves, and yes, they are completely drifting.
Okay, now how should a gentleman behave?
Well, a man should be elegant and a gentleman. Should he be masculine? Should he accept his role as a man? So, how can he have strength, protect his family, be like a leader of his family? And he also dresses elegantly.
So I'm not dressed elegantly today, Eva? No.
No. Oh,
What can we do to look more elegant?
first take off those sneakers. I know they're really comfortable, but many shoes are both comfortable and stylish, like sneakers. No, no, those are for sports. That's why they're called sneakers. They're for doing sports.
Look, these aren't exactly sneakers, right?
No, because we also have fashion and people only wear sneakers now, so they've adapted to sell more, but there are
These are. How would you consider this style of sneakers?
vulgar, but all of them?
I don't mean vulgar. Athletic or what? I mean, how do you define this? Are they athletic or what are they like?
Vulgar? It's not that.
But no,
I don't know what sport they're for. No, I don't have any. I think they're
made for wearing, actually.
maybe, but like I was saying, people now only wear sneakers because it's comfortable and they don't make the effort to choose. Shoes like before, like loafers, derbies, Oxfords. There are a lot of elegant shoes for men and people. That has been lost, yes, because there are the raids.
Yes, this is more comfortable, isn't it? Look, I agree with you. I'll give you that the outfit isn't elegant. Not me, not me. I asked you before off camera, knowing you were going to answer me. I mean, I knew it, obviously. Obviously, don't you think there can be time for everything? For example, to dress elegantly. For example, I record. This week, I record 5 shows here. Since I need an elegant outfit for each of those shows, I am. Hey, I'll buy you something, okay? And now I'm with my closet.
Yes.
Every month I get new things and I'm always picking out more and more elegant ones, but I can't change my whole closet. On top of that, since I work in social media, I can't have a different outfit for every show. I mean, it's absolutely impossible right now. I mean, I can't change because I'd have to spend too much. How much money? Good question. That's an issue. Do you need to have money to be elegant? Do you need to invest a lot of capital to dress elegantly?
No, people think so, but elegance is not a matter of money, it's a matter of choices. So, can we choose a coat, a top? In stores like Zara, Mango, or Shein. What? Something that's not expensive and is super elegant, because we could go to Louis Vuitton and buy a top with huge logos that looks tacky. Elegance, as I was saying, is a matter of choice, and you have to choose timeless pieces that you can mix with other clothes. I mean, for example, you can buy a pair of pants and wear it with different tops. Do you understand me? Yes, perfectly. Like shoes, you can use, I don't know, 2 or 3 pairs of shoes, but they should go well with this pair of pants as well as the other pair. Is it really a matter of choices?
I agree and will listen to you. Will you be my elegance advisor? Although my wife is already behind me, she's always told me that I need to dress a little more elegantly. My girl is classic, and she said so, but you have to understand it's a process. Like, how can you do it every day? Me, for example, tomorrow I'm recording a show, and the next day I'm recording two in one day. So I have to bring two outfits. How many outfits would I have if they all had to be extremely elegant? Why do I need to dress up? Do I need a gigantic closet?
For example, to answer that, can you wear the same pants but with a different top and have it look totally different? So, is it not going to cost you more to dress elegantly? Because it's not a matter of having new clothes, but a matter of how you mix them together. Or, for example, I can wear this top with a pair of pearl earrings and with these pants, for example. Or I can wear this top with black pants. And will it totally change my outfit? My outfit?
So, you reassure people that you don't have to spend a lot of money to be elegant?
Absolutely. I say it in every video in question because many people
It's quite a common question.
legitimate. It's just that the person mixes up the topics. You don't need a lot of money to be elegant. That's exactly what I think. I think people believe we need a lot of money because elegance really highlights who we are and we can look wealthier by dressing elegantly. I mean, when we see an elegant woman on the street, we will, how do I say it, see her as more classy, yes.
Rich, classy woman.
Yes, and maybe the girl bought everything at Mango.
Which isn't very expensive, which
It's not very expensive.
Nike shoes can also be more expensive.
Exactly, yes. People mix all this up.
Maeva, we're going back to the topic of ladies and gentlemen, the topic of being a lady. It doesn't have that much to do with behavior. And nowadays, with modesty. A woman who is constantly going to clubs and dancing. Let's talk about reggaeton. Let's talk about this dembow music, this music that encourages women to dance perreo. What do you think about all that?
I made a video saying that reggaeton was vulgar. It is, I mean, that's what it is, of course. And yes, like I was saying, elegance isn't just about good manners, but also about attitude. It's a matter of attitude. If a woman dresses elegantly but listens and dances to reggaeton, it ruins her elegance.
Absolutely. And in the end, this is completely done deliberately because I can't believe that it's not obvious. Reggaeton and dembow, for example, are types of music known for their vulgarity. Literally, even someone who isn't familiar with these codes would say this can't be elegant under any circumstances. No, never, 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 I mean, to talk about it. A woman can be elegant when she talks openly about sex. A woman can be elegant when she sleeps with any man who passes by. Can a woman be elegant when she's completely drunk at the club?
That is to say,
Is the modern woman the opposite of what elegance represents?
yes, but luckily not all women are like that. But, as she used to say. I don't really know what happened, but I think there's a matter of feminism that now we can do what we want. Everything about body count, all of that. These are topics that I don't get why it's never been like that or why women act that way. But do they disrespect themselves? By doing these behaviors?
Why do they disrespect themselves?
Because a woman who respects herself is a discreet woman. She doesn't need to do these things to be Amada's son is like, how can I say it? It's a lack of respect for your body, for who we are. It's our body. It's a temple. We shouldn't let just anyone touch it. Or going to a nightclub or getting drunk is also a lack of respect for your body.
So do you think that alcohol, in excess, I mean getting drunk, is it completely lacking in elegance also? Yes, I think so too. I 100% agree with you. But my shoes are elegant, aren't they? Man, what a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. But how many lost women have approached you? What have you changed about these concepts they already had ingrained?
A lot. Well, with this Elegance account that I've created, I've had opportunities, and for example, to talk about women I'm helping, right? First, well, I'm going to give a bit of context. I've talked, for example, about OnlyFans pages, which were totally vulgar. Vulgar, excuse me. Both the people who create content on these platforms and the people who consume it.
That's right. Facto Maeva hired.
But I realized that nobody was helping these women because it's easy to say that this is vulgar, but we also need to help them. And so I had the idea to help them by creating a personal brand so they can leave platforms like OnlyFans and build something through social media by creating a personal brand.
So you're helping the girls create a personal brand without having to sell their bodies for money? How's it going? Has any girl from OnlyFans messaged you?
Yes, I think so. 1,000 people, I think, have contacted me to tell me that they wanted to leave the platforms. There are also a lot of girls who have contacted me saying that they were thinking about creating an account because they didn't know, an OnlyFans account, because they didn't know how to make money and were thinking about selling their bodies like this. Because for her, it was the only solution. And I told them no, that there are plenty of ways to help the world. And without selling your body.
I believe that when you help the world helps you.
Yes,
If you only sell vice, you might make money, but the world is going to crush you. Mentally, you won't be able to deal with it. I think all these girls who have chosen this life, I pray for them, yes, but I think they're going to suffer the consequences. I don't think it's positive in the long run for anyone's mental health to be selling your body like that, so someone else, I'm going to be blunt, can masturbate on the other side of the screen. The society we live in is pretty terrible, and the worst part is that it's not criticized enough. Only a few of us speak out about society's hypersexualization. I think it's one of the most vulgar things about the modern world. Not so much the clothing, I think the most vulgar thing nowadays is the general behavior. Yes, because I've met people who maybe don't dress in the most elegant way, but then with the way they behave, they do show that elegance. What I find unusual is that someone like Andrew Tate, I'm not sure if you know him. He has some pretty negative things, we're not going to deny that. He's faced social media criticism and all that, but deep down, the message is work hard, be disciplined, and as a man, you must fight to achieve anything. It's a message that has a lot of positive things. Yes, and go for it, go all out. Bonnie Blue sleeps with 1,000 men and is allowed to say any kind of thing like, I'm going to take your boyfriends, lend me your boyfriends because I have to have sex with 1,000 people in one day. I don't care if they're married, I'll handle them. And that girl can do whatever she wants and say whatever she wants on social media without any consequences. Let me ask you this. Which of the two figures do you think is more harmful to society? Andrew Tate or Bonnie Blue?
well, it's clear that it's Bonnie Blue. Because what happens is that, as I've already said, the world has been turned upside down. We have switched the beautiful with the ugly, the good with the bad, the elegant with the vulgar, and we are normalizing behaviors that are totally vulgar, which we would have never normalized before, and now it's completely normal. We can't say that sleeping with 1,000 people. I talked about this topic in a video and it did really well about Bonnie Blue, and What example are we setting for the girls? What example are we setting for women, for our daughters, for our sisters? It's a bad example and we're saying that it's okay. Go on, but no. I think the truth is to say that it's not okay and show that we don't have to do that and set the example.
Let's talk about social media, Instagram, selfies, modern narcissism. Can elegance survive in the digital world?
Yes, it depends on how we use social media. Or we can use them for our ego to say, look, I have a lot of likes, a lot of followers, and just to satisfy the ego. Or can we share a message and help the world? And I chose to help the world.
Bikini photos, elegant or vulgar?
Vulgar.
Okay. Photos? Is showing cleavage or wearing a low-cut outfit elegant or vulgar?
Vulgar?
Photos of men at the gym without a shirt.
Vulgar? Well, it's not classy. If it's to inspire other men to show that it can be achieved, why not? But if it's just to satisfy the ego, it's vulgar.
Very good answer. Maeva, very good answer. I'm not against it, but for example, there are girls who show off their bodies a lot, but that's because they work in the fitness world. And what about me? Where's the fine line between just showing off and actually showing results, especially when your business is based on those results? It's complicated. It's complicated. I want your opinion because as a man, I posted a photo asking, guys, can you get strong? Look, here I am now. And in a month, I have to post again saying, look what I've achieved in these months. I'm not doing it so people say, wow, Jota, you're ripped. I'm doing it so the guys can see that with effort and discipline, you can achieve the results you long for. So where's the thin line?
Well, if we do things just to satisfy our ego, that's not good because it's never elegant. Exactly, it's just something to feel better and not. It's for the ego, so it's for the devil, right? The ego is the devil.
The ego is the devil.
And if we do things to help the world, that's working for God, to help people, to give faith. For example, can someone take a picture with a Lamborghini? I say Lamborghini, but it's Lamborghini, yes. That's the right way to say it. Just to show, look, I have money, a lot of money, or you can take a picture with a Lamborghini and show that anything is possible and give proof. It depends on the intention behind it.
That's a great answer, mademoiselle. I agree with you. What's the most vulgar thing you see on social media these days? If you had to choose just one thing?
The accounts are like infants.
The of girls?
Yes. But the account,
Itself, or how do they promote?
the fact of having a platform makes me feel embarrassed because maybe they don't know and I would like them to. I know there are some who really do it because they want to, but that's not classy. It's vulgar. But I know there are girls who think it's the only way to make a living because they don't think that they have something to offer, like a personal account, a personal brand. And we all have a story to tell. We all have problems we've solved, stirred up.
Solved.
And we can all help people, help other people. We all have something to share and something to help with.
So if you had to choose one, would it be veil? Would it be OF? What's the most vulgar thing you see men doing on social media today?
Let me think.
Think, take your time.
When did we post? Yes.
For example, OF, 95% of content creators are women. So I take it as a female vulgarity on social media. I want you to also point out a male vulgarity on social media. As of today, I have one in mind.
when they comment to all the women and they make, I don't know, vulgar comments like questions they shouldn't ask, personal things.
Maela had the same answer on the tip of her tongue. There's nothing I find more pathetic than men who comment on girls who sell their bodies on social media. Like, you're a queen, you're a goddess, I hope to meet you someday. I think it's the least classy thing on planet Earth. And above all, I think it shows a huge lack of self respect. Because these girls only see you as a client, someone to get money from, and you're treating them like goddesses. Unclassy, vulgar, and lacking self respect. That's why I call you Super Soy, huh? Super Saiyan Simp Warrior. Do you know the term simp? What does it mean? Well, I've made up a bunch of names. Sojayain, Sojaya Simps Warrior, Super, Saya Simp, Betonidas of the game Mopilas. That's what I call them too. Because beta, do you understand the term beta too? Well, I think that's terrible. And I think that a man who doesn't have enough masculinity and enough self respect to know that commenting on these things is absolutely ridiculous. And don't even get me started on buying them. I think that's the worst attitude men have nowadays on social media, and I find it very vulgar and very lacking in elegance. Maeva more than my sneakers?
Yes.
Hey, please, look, I wasn't offended, but if you tell me you love them more than my sneakers, I swear I'll burn them live right here, okay? All right, Maeva? Besides creating content on social media, do you have something like that to help people more specifically?
Yes, I created a course a few months ago called Be Elegant in 30 Days, and it's a course where I've put all my knowledge from the past 2 years so that people can transform themselves in a month.
And does it work?
Yes, I have a lot of students, and there's a change that particularly has shocked me. It's the case of Charlene. If you can show a picture, she's a girl, not a boy. One from the Dominican Republic. It truly changed her life, but elegance saved her as it did me.
And how? How did he dress before and after? Did he dress like a typical rapper?
Did he dress in a way, how do you say, comfortable, right? He didn't pay attention to, he didn't care about what he wore. And also, he was a bit overweight and he lost weight, and now he dresses super elegantly now, and I was really shocked by his change. It's incredible.
Amazing, really. Maeva, to close this show, I wanted to ask you a question. Can Europe be saved through the values of aesthetics and elegance?
Yes, if elegance allows you to be a good person, if everyone follows the codes of elegance, then all of Europe will be saved. But no,
Don't you think that we have to be a little bit of a fighter? Is it elegance, warrior like?
yes, why?
Why? Explain it to me. I see myself as a modern warrior.
It's resistance to vulgarity. Being elegant is being resistant to vulgarity. It's one of the strongest messages I have on my account.
I completely understand aesthetics. Aesthetics are part of European identity, elegance. Do you think Europe is weak because it has lost what once made us great, what once made us the focus of civilization?
I'm not going to say Europe, but the West. Mm. Yes, we have to preserve our culture. We have to preserve this Western culture that we have because it's the one that has developed us. And what about setting it aside a little? Mm. Well, we've lost it and we have to get back into this culture and follow it again.
How are we going to recover Europe, seeing what happened with the Paris Saint-Germain celebration? What solution can elegance offer in the face of so much degeneration?
Well, we have to continue with our traditions, keep being who we really are, and uphold the codes of elegance. It's part of this, and we have to follow them to become who we are again.
Conflict can be elegant. Eva?
Conflict can.
Yes. Can conflict be elegant? That's a very good question.
Yes.
It's just that, son,
They're really complex questions.
I know I'm a complicated person.
Huh? Conflict can be elegant. Yes, we can fight with Como, like I do, for example, by sharing the codes of elegance, and that's a battle.
I don't disagree that conflict on social media, the confrontation of ideas, can be elegant. But often we face forces who don't see elegance as valuable. And the fact that we fighting with some weapons that by code of conduct are restricted for us, whether it's using bad words, I use them a lot myself. It's not elegant to be rude, I know that, but I think we live in such a vulgarized world that sometimes, in order for the message to reach the masses, especially on topics like the ones I talk about, like sexual promiscuity, anti feminism, it's very important to play with their weapons too. I completely agree with much of what you say, Maeva. Please don't see this as confrontation. But sometimes I do see that sometimes you have to get your hands a little dirty. And mud, generally speaking, isn't considered elegant, or being covered in mud isn't elegant. And I think that a big part of the conservatives' problem has been that they haven't wanted to get dirty with mud in order to maintain their elegance. Let's put it this way. How productive is it? Not getting muddy, not using bad words, or being willing to go to war in every sense, to fight for what is right.
I think that the moment we tell the truth, we're already fighting. Whether we say it with bad words or good words, what's important is to tell the truth and say things as they are. For example, if the device is vulgar, then we have to say it. And I say it this way, I don't say it in a vulgar way, and people understand it. I think that depends on each person, and what's important is to speak the truth.
I fully agree, that's true. Maeva, I want to ask you a personal question to wrap up today's show. Are you a Christian person?
And you.
Did you get closer? I mean, did elegance bring you closer to religion? Yes. Tell me a little about that process.
Well, let me tell you. Before, as I mentioned, I was a little angry with God because I lost my grandfather and my life was a bit complicated. And when I discovered elegance, I became interested. I'm not sure if you know about the law of attraction or assumption.
No, tell me a little about it.
The law of attraction means thinking positively attracts positive things, while negative thoughts attract negativity. And the law of assumption is when you assume something is yours, for example, I am rich, and you believe it so much that it will come into your life. And I was reading a book that is about the law of assumption, and it's a book that's based on the Bible. And that was in 2024, at the beginning of 2024, and I realized that I believed in God. Because if I believe in the law of assumption and that this book is based on the Bible, then I'm believing in the Word of God. Even though I haven't actually read the Bible, I've read another book. I create the Elegancia account with Maeva in 2024, in April 2024. And just when I was talking about the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games, something happened to me quite powerful spiritually.
Tell me.
I worked on the idea with my boyfriend. I always work with him, and that day, he helps me record the videos. And that day, to talk about this ceremony, it was a pretty intense script, and let's say that the blasphemy was vulgar, the whole ceremony was vulgar, and it was a pretty intense topic. And normally when I record the video outside, the videos always turn out well, the lighting is good, everything looks good. But that day we couldn't find a good place to film, so we went to a monastery that's next to where we live, and we go to that place. We didn't get to record the video because the lighting wasn't good either. We go to church, we pray, and when we leave, there's like a path, and up there is the Virgin. And there was light over the Virgin, and my boyfriend and I looked at each other and we said, we have to record the video here. So we stand on the stairs, and behind us is the Virgin, and we record the video about the Olympic Games. We posted the video and it worked great. And at night, well, I've had some pretty intense nightmares. I was in a house and there was something pulling me toward the depths of the earth. I don't really know, and I was struggling. I wake up, wake my boyfriend, tell him about my nightmare, and he calms me. And when I fall asleep, the atmosphere that night was quite intense. There were strange noises in the house. When I fall asleep, I find myself, it'll be a little while. Fantastic, right? That's how I tell it. I find myself in hell, in front of the devil. And I understand where I am. I see the devil just like we imagine him. Isn't he red with his... I don't know what the trident is called, the trident, and I'm in forgiveness, I'm in hell, and I'm with, like we imagine hell, isn't it red? With lava everywhere. And the devil looks at me and tells me that he offers me a contract, he offers me one, right? That I have to help him share his messages on social media. And he in return offers me everything I want. I don't know, being famous, a lot of money. And I tell him, no, I believe in God, never, and I am right now. I was so stressed that I was saying no. I said bad things because it was the devil, right? And sorry, it's a bit hard to relive it again when I talk about it. And at this moment, the devil was trying to sign the contract. And he grabbed my hand and was trying to force me to make a pact. I realized what was happening and felt scared. And I don't know, I was struggling and saying, I believe in God, and I'm never going to do anything with you. You are something bad. I'm never going to do things with you. And he got angry. And at the moment he gets angry, I get... And at the moment he gets angry, I get on my knees and I pray to Jesus for the first time, saying, Jesus, save me. I'm lost and don't want to stay in this hell. And I find myself against the wall. Paradise, yes, and heaven in the sky with Jesus who is behind and God. Well, God appeared to me as I imagined him, right? So, like Morgan Freeman, and then I see him as Morgan Freeman, and I'm in paradise in heaven. And he tells me that what I'm doing on social media is really good, that I have to keep going and that I shouldn't be afraid because he has chosen me and my family, just like he has chosen a lot of people to help share goodness on earth. And that I have to keep going like this, and that I shouldn't be afraid of hell or the devil, because if I'm with God, everything will be fine. And since this date that I have made, this dream, but it wasn't a dream because I really lived it. When I woke up, I was in shock. No, well, and I still haven't told that. This is the first time I'm telling it in public. And I'm actually preparing a video on my new YouTube channel that I created recently to tell this story, but rather with more time and more details.
You first, what you just told me. When did you wake up? Was it all just a dream?
Yes. Okay.
And when did you wake him up saying you had a nightmare?
Before seeing the devil already? I mean,
You were experiencing it, they were swallowing you, then you woke him, told him, went back to sleep, and continued the dream. It's incredible.
yes, it is.
A great story, and I'm really happy. Well, there are certainly people who have asked me, Jota, do I talk a lot about Satanism? I talk a lot about how all this vulgarity, these waves of fashion, music, I'm glad what other things are there like that, fashion. These industries have very satanic undertones.
Yes.
We can see it. Are you familiar with the Balenciaga case?
Yes, whenever I can say it's vulgar, I say it.
Vulgar isn't just a word, it's already evil.
Yes.
I use
The word sorry, I use the word vulgar because it's my topic and I'm not going.
No, it's not good either. I think the best way to approach it, to define good and bad, is elegant and vulgar. It sounds better. Many people are shocked to learn that Balenciaga did an advertising campaign featuring children with stuffed animals with sadomasochistic objects. There were tapes with Val with two A's. Whoever wants to investigate Val with two A's, who that is in the Bible, should look it up. An advertising campaign in which documents from judges related to pedophilia appeared. Gentlemen, anyone can do this. Why is it so hard for people to see? What's behind these things? What's behind these industries? What's behind Hollywood cinema, fashion? Why do you think it's so hard for them to see, Maeva? That behind what's vulgar, there might be something deeper.
Because we live in a world of lies and we know that the devil works to spread those lies. And that's why beauty has been swapped with ugliness, elegance with vulgarity. I know I repeat myself a lot, but we really are in a battle between good and evil. And each of us uses our words to share that. And the people who find it hard, recognizing that there are satanic things, like for example, the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games, it was a ceremony of Satanism, it was a ritual. People have a hard time seeing it because they're asleep, they don't realize it, they're not hearing the devil's voice, right? But they don't realize that they're listening to these voices.
The issue of society being numb is quite serious. That's why people like you are very important, Maeva. Because I believe there are several fronts from which this battle can be fought, right? There are people who have chosen politics, there are people who have chosen elegance and vulgarity. There are people who have chosen, like me, all possible fronts. Well, I go for it, I shoot in all directions, and I don't hide. By saying that, I believe there is a satanic agenda, that I believe the world is governed by people controlled by evil. I'm not afraid to say it at all. And I want to ask you, is your community aware of your spiritual background?
Yes, there are many who know that I believe in God. I talk about God in my Instagram stories. And I just created my YouTube channel, which I started 2 days ago, specifically to talk about deeper topics. I can mention that on Instagram since time is limited, but I'll go into more detail on YouTube. And I know there are many people who ask me to talk about God, about the elegance of Jesus, all of this.
I think it's important to do it. Above all, how it gives your life a very important meaning. Isn't the lack of meaning and purpose also a major social issue? Don't you notice people sometimes ask you for help? Is it because they don't have solid pillars to hold on to? And what about clothing? Aesthetics can help you superficially, but what really matters is a code of behavior. I think that's where your background lies. I think that's where your true value is. Not in telling me that my sneakers are vulgar. I'll always keep that in mind. Just kidding, Mama Eva. What do you think about what I said?
Well, I'm on social media to help people, and obviously I talk about clothing. But my account isn't just about that, I talk about deeper topics. I was saved from this. Exactly. I didn't have a purpose, and elegance allowed me to find my path, what I really have to do, I don't know how to say it,
Yes, your
path, purpose. And what if I made it? That I was a super vulgar girl, the most vulgar in the world, a really lost girl, sick because I was sick with depression and I saved myself from that. So if I made it, then everyone can make it.
I completely agree with you, Mom Eva. I want to ask you the last question. Did you get a bit of hate? I saw it in the comments. When you called a man with a beard or slicked back hair elegant, you're like, I'm pretty elegant. And then you showed the prototype of a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus man, not homosexual because I want to make a distinction between those two things. But it was the usual person with those eyelashes and colored contacts like you showed. My followers know it, like a legendary Pokemon. What do you want to say to the audience? That it's not about sexuality, it's about aesthetics? What did you mean with that video? It really made me laugh, and that's when I followed you. I said, great, Mama Eva, and I explained the background of what you were trying to do.
Well, sexuality is usually private, so we don't need to know what everyone does. I don't care. What bothers me is when they try. What is iron like? If you don't agree with this, then you're a homophobe or something like that, trying to convert people. And no, my message was just dress in a masculine way, behave like a man, and not like, I don't even know what to call it, because it's like a man woman, a man prince. I don't know.
So for you, the whole issue of gender ideology, that clothes don't have a gender, that men can wear skirts and women can wear suits and ties like men. Ultimately, is it
Vulgar?
how great you are, Madhava? To finish, do you want to say something to the audience that
Don't be afraid. We all have difficult things we've been through, but we can all overcome them. If I was able to heal and become an elegant person, then we can all achieve this. And if you need help or want advice about elegance, I'm here to help you with great pleasure. And don't be afraid. Above all, don't be afraid and keep the faith. Keep the faith.
all right, gentlemen, we finished today's program. I hope you liked it. I really enjoy the content that Madhava creates. I think it's extremely necessary. And even though I got criticized for my clothing, I have to admit that as a man, you have to learn to take criticism, and he's not wrong. Maybe I should try to be more elegant, but without losing that warrior spirit that defines me, especially in the topics you all know about. Madhava, thank you so much for coming, guys. The link to my private community is pinned in the comment below. Gentlemen, I want you to know that Europe can be saved, but we must not give in. And as Madhava rightly said, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. Big hug to all. See you next episode of La Factoria. Goodbye.